Hi, and welcome to the Embroidery Turd, where it can hit the ceiling or the fan. So, today we're going to talk about threads and hooping, choices that we need to make. Um, so, I'm going to wait for a few people to jump on in since I have nobody in here yet because, we're fairly new and we are trying to get ourselves off the ground. My partner in crime is not here today. Today is her son's birthday. So she's taking care of all that, which is awesome. So, I'm gonna wait for a few people to jump on in since I gotta share this out. Write a post. I'm missing something on this thing. So we're talking about threads today, hooping, um, some of the more important things to that is part of our embroidery process because if you don't have the right thread, you don't have the right hoops, you could, it could potentially mess up what you're trying to do. So we do not want that to happen. So we are going to, yay! We have so many cool embroidery groups. Um, Everything embroidery screen printing, embroidery hub. So there we go. It's in a couple. So the importance of literally choosing your threads versus, just winging it. Because a lot of jobs require certain types of threads. We have our regular poly, we have rayon, we have thermal, um, we have glitter or metallic, we have the super twist and the gunnels that have the glitter intertwined with it. We have fluorescence, we have fire retardant, we have things like that. And there are a lot of things that go into what you're going to choose for your embroidery project. Don't have the right hoops, you could, you know, it could for your embroidery project. Don't have the right hoops, you could, you know. So we want to make sure that you have the right threads, hoops, needles. So this is just going to be a really good um, cast on threads and things like that. And hooping. Some people have problems hooping because I tell you what, some of us, I went through the whole rigmarole of the plastic hoops, and then my dad did some research. Um, uh, for Mighty Hoops, it was amazing. Okay, so let's get into threads first. So, knowing that there are tons of different threads, because you guys know there are tons of different threads. So we have the classic polyneons, and you have different brands of polyneons. Now, I know that you can find some like on Amazon and stuff like that, but a serious embroiderers, the ones that, I mean, we get down and we get after it when it comes to embroidery. These this could be really detrimental to your project. So I've got 4 different brands in house. 4. So I carry Madeira, Floriani, I have Isacord, and I have some Auto. So, and what I have found for my personal experience is that Madeira is Madeira is one of the best threads that I have come across. Now, mind you, it does compare to Floriani, because if you even Isacord, if you look at the fluorescence when you go from Isacord to Madeira to Floriani, I tell you what, Floriani has the truest fluorescent yellow that anybody could ever have. It's got that green tint to it. It is the best. That's all I got left in my Floriani. And I absolutely love this fluorescent. This fluorescent is one of the best, because this is probably the truest fluorescent yellow I have ever had. Isacord, I'm not a huge fan of Isacord. I don't like, it's got like a shiny matte finish to it. So I'm not really thrilled with the fact with Isacord. Auto. Now, the big difference with Auto. Now, I'm not saying I don't like Auto, because I think Auto is really nice. It has a beautiful sheen to it. But I love playing with these color changing gradient looking ones. I love the color changing gradients. But Auto versus Madeira has more of a subtle change. Auto's just kind of like boom, boom, boom on their color changes. So, and then, I take that back. I got 5 because I do have Gunneld. I bought their, it was at a show and I was super excited about it. This is their glitter type material or thread. And what they were telling me was, I mean, you can't feel it because it's woven in there. It's kind of like a piece of silver foil kind of put in there. And they showed it to me like this. They broke it. And look, you can see the thread. And then there's the silver piece right there. So that's how they kind of showed me that one. And I was kind of impressed with it. So I kind of bought every color they had at the show. And I've used it. I like it. I really do. I don't have a whole lot of applications that I use it with, but I really like their sparkle thread. This one is really, really a nice one. I really like this one. Yeah. It kind of holds a candle to the Super Twist. I like it better than the Super Twist. Not gonna lie, but I like Super Twist. Super Twist has a lot of fun colors. We have a lot of Super Twist, and Super Twist is really fun with freestanding lace as well, because we've used I've done some freestanding lace with this one, and it was a lot of fun. They also carry their Madeira has a CR metallic and an FS metallic. So you've got 2 different ones. This one, and you know what's nice about these in Madeira, because I'm looking at the top of the FS, it does say 9014, and the CR does say 7511. So this one will take a 7511 needle, and this one you probably need a 9014 because I think it's a little bit thicker. And then the Super Twist, it literally says 9014 on it. And it's 70% polymid and then 30% metallic, antique gold, 75% polyester, 25% metallic, and then 68 polyester and 32% metallic. Made in Germany. Goes with those German machines, y'all. Just saying. So when you're choosing your threads, it has a lot to do with the project you're working on. I've used these threads in a little bit of everything. I even have, some of the 75 weight, the 60 weight, and the 30 weight. The 75 weight, we use it on beads and sequins because it's got a much finer, it's a lot finer. So it works really well. But as far as threads go, like I said, I have some in, I have Madeira, we have some Isocord, I have Floriani, Gunnelled, and I have an Otto. Now, Ottos are very, very shiny. I like Otto's whites and blacks because they're very shiny. They put a candle to Madeira in a heartbeat because Madeira is my go-to. Madeira has been a fabulous company when it comes to thread because if I need something in a pinch, they're absolutely amazing. Good morning, Miss Brenda. So when you're thinking about threads for your project, and do you upcharge? Well, absolutely. This stuff right here, this plain stuff, yeah, we know what we pay for it. This stuff, we know what we pay for it. But when you start getting into your finer threads like this and your metallics and your super twist, we know we pay a pretty penny for this. When you're sitting at $7.99 for something like this and you're paying $34 for something like this, you have to adjust your pricing on that. So thread wise, I mean, left chest logos, hats, and things like that, you pretty much can use all of it. I've used a lot of it. The glow in the dark. Oh yeah, they have glow in the dark too. They have thermal. We're working on trying to get some of that thermal thread. I just want to see it just do its thing. So as far as thread goes, you got the 40 weight, which is your everyday. 60 weight. Some machines require a 60 weight to do smaller and thinner lettering. And don't think that 40 weight can't do it, but some machines are not tuned in to do it right. So you're using a 65-9 needle with a 60 weight thread, which is not a big deal. And then you're going to have your 75 weight, which is thinner than your 60 weight, which I use it for my sequins and the bead attachments on the ZSK. And then you have a 30 weight, which is pretty heavy. And I played with it on the bill of a hat because it's thicker and I used like 100 needle. It worked pretty well. But we all have our preferences on what we use. I don't think I have a ballpoint needle. I think I have all sharps. That's what I'm used to. You're going to get in your comfort zone of what you're comfortable with and what you want to use. So with that said, enjoy threads. If you have any questions, you can put them on here. Now, hooping systems. I know a lot of people have problems with hat and they go to that Hoop Tech system. I've had the Hoop Tech system. I like it, but it doesn't hold a candle to the original hooping system that comes with your machine, made for your machine. I like the Hoop Tech system, but it only gives you that broad spectrum of the front of the hat, and that is it. You're not going beyond the front of the hat. I like the hooping system that comes with the ZSK versus the Hoop Tech because I can do past the front of the hat because I want to be able to do the sides of the hat without having to rehoop again. So that there's a little pro and con there with the hat hooping systems. I know there's accessories for backs of the hats, sides of the hats, and that's all fine and dandy. But if you can get it on one hoop and not have to rehoop, it really takes a lot off you and your production time. I know a lot of people, when they get their machines, they're given these plastic ones. You can see mine still have the tape on them. So, yeah, I haven't used them. And I think these are Dina's. So I think they all have their time and place with everything. I get a little concerned about these because if you're using faux leather and other products that could possibly tear or wrinkle or keep the impression of the hoop. I really don't like these much. Um, they're pretty decent. I mean, I wouldn't mind using them on freestanding lace and just little projects. But I mean, having the best hooping system in like on God's green earth is for me the way to go, because I know you guys have heard about Mighty Hoops and the Hoop Master system. This thing now, the only con that I have for this, one, you got to keep them clean, because if you do something white and they're dirty, it's going to get on it. If you have a thicker material, the magnets aren't as good. Like, let's say a Carhartt jacket, I have to clamp it, but I will clamp it. But the amount of force, and I have snapped my finger, and I have not, and that will take a finger off. And please, when you store them, it's this way, and I do it just like that so I can hang it on the wall and they're not going to snap together. So hooping systems are a huge part of embroidery, because if you don't have the right, if it's not hooped right, you're going to lose registration and you're going to think it's the machine, but actually it could have been your hooping. So make sure that the system that you are using is going to be conducive to what you're doing. Not everybody, we do a lot of left chest logos. We do hats, some bags. So the Hoop Master and the Mighty Hoops are the best product for us. And like I said, have I used the manual? I call them manual. Have I used the manual hoops? Absolutely. I've used those manual hoops. Absolutely. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but if you can upgrade and start building a faster and more efficient way to hoop things, because I tell you what, when I put this 5.5 on and I get that shirt on there, it's a tap, it's done. I pull it off and I'm going. I'm not having to push, adjust, nothing. And so the Hoop Master system is what makes it really easy and very efficient to move on to the next project. So I can just hoop it and go, hoop it and go. So hooping is a very essential part of the embroidery, and so is your thread. So that's why I came on here today. Like I said, Dina, my partner in crime, has not made it today, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. We've got things we need to do, and it's her son's birthday, so I'm here taking care of this. So your threads, your hooping system, that's what we talked about today. If you guys have any questions about my experiences, because this is truly, honestly, based off my experiences, shows I've been to, watching others do projects with certain items and threads. And I see there's pros and cons to all of it. There is not anything perfect about embroidery. It's never going to be perfect. We all have to find what works for us. And if you can't find what works for you, find somebody to help mentor you and work with you. Dina and I are always around to answer questions and help everybody out. But in order to grow, you have to learn different techniques. I learn different techniques all the time, and I like to share them with you guys, or I'll share them with the embroidery side of our little podcast thing. But thread, know your weights, know the needles they go with. And if you're lucky enough to have some of these, take a look at the top of your Madeira ones, because I tell you what, it tells you what needle to use. I kind of like that. I don't know if Gunholds does. Hold on, let me see. No, it does not. Gunhold's made in Japan, apparently. Madeira's made in Germany. I don't know where that one's made. Isacord is made in Germany as well. So, guys, thank you for coming in. If you have any questions, you can put it on this thread or you can message us personally and we will get back to you. Um, we've enjoyed talking to you and working with you on our embroidery side. And this gives us a way to talk to you without working and showing you some of the new things that are out. Today, Erin Montgomery is going to go live with Sisters Twinkle. I will tell you the Twinkle is much better than the glitter when it comes to applique because you're not getting all that glitter dust in your needle arm or your shaft. So you might want to watch Aaron Montgomery today with two regular guys because he has a very awesome podcast. But as we grow this one, we want you to grow with us, and we cannot wait to bring you more um, information about the new stuff's coming out in embroidery, um, helping you with your techniques and everything else that you might need. So please give us a, you know, message the page, comment on this podcast, and give us a little feedback of what you'd like to see, what you have questions with, some of your experiences as well, because we're really dedicated to helping the embroidery community. So, with that said, I want you guys to have a wonderful, terrific Tuesday while I get this store open and we get rolling because we've got some work to do.